Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to round number 6 in the HVRL Rookie Racing League. We've got Gateway here tonight in the rookie trucks. Fun track, unlike any track that we've been to on the schedule up to this point, and probably really any other track that we will go to this season. So I'm looking forward to it. I know there's a couple drivers on track that are looking forward to it as well. So we'll see what happens tonight. We've got about 12 minutes left here in practice before we get into the qualifying run. Joined as always by Mr. William Kern up here in the broadcast booth. So should be having some more fun tonight here at Gateway.
Yes, sir. How are we doing tonight there, Bryce?
I'm a little tired, admittedly. Not a lot of driving, but a decent amount of driving in the past 2 days. So it's nice to be home and get to sleep in my own bed again tonight. But, well, yeah, because I didn't get to sleep in it since Thursday. So nothing like sleeping in your own bed. Excited to be back home and get back to racing tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow night. Dover is one of my best and favorite tracks. Unlike this one that they're at tonight, this one they can fill it with water and turn it into a giant pond for all I care.
Yeah, well, you won it last season, whether there was controversy or not. But
yeah, that was just by not only luck on my end, but bad luck on other people's end. But yeah, I just this track is definitely very difficult to drive. I can't remember if we had a night race last season or not, but I know they got one tonight. So the track should be pretty cool on temperatures. Tight corners. One's a little tighter than the other, and very flat corners. There's not much of any banking at all in these corners, so they're going to have a difficult time actually turning in.
yeah, I mean, this track I would say is like a combination of Milwaukee Mile and Dover. I mean, you have banking in 1 and 2. I mean, granted, it's not a lot, but you do have banking in 1 and 2, which is the tighter of the two corners. You actually hear some of these guys downshifting into turns 1 and 2. You could do it in 3 and 4 if you wanted to. Speed-wise, I mean, honestly, I think it is a little quicker to downshift, but it's you'd have a little more time doing it that way. So a little bit of varying strategies possibly tonight from these drivers, and I know I'm looking forward to it. This is a track that I didn't have much experience at before last season, but I really loved it until I didn't. And looks like we're going to have a pretty full field tonight here as well. I mean, we've got 37 registered in the session as of right now, so a lot of trucks in the field.
Yeah, signed up. I think we got 42. We're right on the edge. So I mean that's excellent. I mean we're 5 races in, I think, and
yeah, this will be 6.
So yeah, 6 races in, and to have that many people showing up is awesome. Obviously, we've lost some along the way, but we've gained some right back as well. So a lot of these guys towards the top of the points and everything, they're holding on tight, going for that championship. And I think in the long run, they're looking to get into a step further and do some Xfinity next season and possibly Cup.
Yeah, I mean, full field tonight again. I think we've got, I want to look here, I believe we have a couple new drivers out on track. Yeah, the 29ers, Zachary Tyler that we see on the top of the scoring pylon there is new to the league, and he's already, at least so far in the practice, making a little bit of a mark. He's got the top qualifying spot over Sean Happy by what I'm guessing to be 1,000th, because it's not by the 100th. So yeah, I mean, a couple guys up here on the top of the board that we're maybe used to seeing. I mean, again, Tyler being new, but we've seen Happy make a late, well, I say a late run, but Happy's made a run here early on these last couple of races. Bobby Grady, again, another driver who has just kind of been doomed by his own mistakes, and self-admittedly, he even said that to me. We were talking a little bit ago, well, probably about a week ago behind the scenes, and he admitted that when it comes down to the race, I mean, he still has pace, but just can't stay away from making mistakes. Justin Nava, again, another guy that we saw last season. He's had to miss a couple races this season, but we've seen him in the Xfinity as well. Justin Nava's a driver that's got some pretty good pace as well, and I believe, that's the number 7, Bryce Tucker. We saw him with an awesome performance last week at the road course, as well as Sean Wilder and Randy Cornwell, 2 names that have been battling up towards the front as well. So.
Yeah, I know Nava and Grady did really good here last season, but I think the one to watch out there tonight, not not bringing in Zachary Tyler because we don't know him. This is his first race here with us this season, but with him out of the picture and his unknown, I mean, Sean's a guy to watch, Mr. Happy Happic. This is one track that I know Sean has boasted about on the schedule, and he's wanting to put that truck into victory lane for the first time. So if it's going to happen anywhere, as he said, it's going to happen here.
Yeah, again, Happy has felt, very confident at this track, and again, Happy's a driver that's been consistent and he's had decent runs, just not able to, get a win in the column yet. But, again, Tyler is a guy that we literally do not know. We have no experience with him. So curious to see what's going to happen between those two drivers. But, the biggest factor, in a race is obviously getting around other drivers. With a full field like we have tonight, staying clean is going to be the key factor. And, of course, putting yourself in the best positions possible to make a run during the race. And we don't know if Tyler has that in him. I mean, he's in here and he's got a fast lap, so I would assume that he of course at least has a little bit of speed on being at the top of the chart. But we've mentioned it several times now throughout the broadcasts that going out there and putting a fast lap down in practice and or even qualifying, obviously that's great and it does count for something. But what can you do when the green flag drops and you're out there with 30, 40 other drivers and you got to complete, not just 1 or 2 laps, but in this case, I think we got 128 here tonight, so 112 laps.
Yeah, the stages tonight are 28 and 56. They get 3 sets of tires tonight, 1 over the wall, so 4 sets total. I mean, to have 40 drivers out there, this is a small track to have that many drivers, and it's a really, really tight track as well. I mean, it's no Bristol Motor Speedway or anything, but still, that's a lot of trucks to put on one track like this. And hopefully we can keep it green tonight, or at least get more green than yellow. You got a lot of people out there spinning out, but I mean, no better place to do that than practice. So get it over with now. That way you can have a nice clean race for the actual race itself.
Yeah, I mean, put yourself to the limit in practice, right? I mean, the last thing you want to do is have to push during the race and not know what you're capable of. And, I mean, we saw it, unfortunately for myself, I mean, we saw it a little bit last season now. There may have been a incorrect pitch strategy there, or maybe still just a lack of talent, but yeah, I mean, turns 1 and 2, I would say are, I mean, the most difficult here between all of the corners, but I feel like drivers kind of know that. I mean, 3 and 4, well, the exit of 4 rather is sneaky, but the exit of 1 and 2, especially where the corner comes off camber there, I mean, if you throttle up too quick, you very easily can get the truck spun around, and not a lot of real estate to save the truck, and especially if you get caught drifting down towards the grass here. I mean, once you get in that grass, I mean, that truck is pretty much done. I mean, you may be able to avoid contact with the wall, but you're going to lose so much time. As we see Nava going around 2 now, you can see how quickly the little bit of banking that we do have here, I mean, it unloads pretty quick. So again, you throttle up too early and you can go around, and if you're in the middle or even towards the front of the pack, not a lot of room for guys to miss you. So that could cause a pretty big one here with the amount of drivers we have on the track.
Yeah, and that's another thing with this track too, especially in 1 and 2. You got the bottom lane there that's pretty much it's flat, and then the second lane up is where the banking really starts. And me personally, I liked coming into 1 kind of low. I rode that flat line, but when you take that transition and start coming up, you're hitting the embankment, and you can, if you throttle up too soon, you're spinning that truck out. I don't know, man. Like I said, I didn't really enjoy this track last season. It was fun to drive, but at the same time, you were on edge the whole time. So
yeah, the biggest thing here tonight is just going to be being and staying patient throughout the race. Again, it literally takes throttling up just a half a second too soon, and I mean, you really could find yourself in trouble. And that's the last thing that these drivers want to see, especially with the IPL that we have in play here. I mean, this is a track that you got to be careful of. Again, it's got that Darlington feel with the clear, obvious differences in 1 and 2 than in 3 and 4, but a little bit of a flatter surface. I mean, there's a little bit of banking in both corners, but not very much. You still kind of get that New Hampshire kind of Milwaukee mile-ish feel with the lack of banking. But I mean, the straights are pretty decently long here, all things considered. I mean, they're not, you know, super speedway length, obviously, but I would say for the most part, pretty normal lane straightaways. So still some time. If you get a good corner, I mean, you can really make a pass. And I really would say that there's passing opportunities on both sides of the track. I mean, you definitely can make the higher line work in 1 and 2 just because you get to pinch the exit off so much. But 3 and 4 is another passing opportunity with how wide and how evenly banked that corner is as well. If you take the high line or even, you know, do a late cut down with a diamond, I mean, you can get a great run here in 1 and 2 as well.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be an interesting race here, especially with like again 40 plus drivers. I'm not sure where we're at now, but we got to be right around 40. And man, it's going to be tight. It's going to be fun. Again, hopefully we get a lot of green flag runs, and you know, I can't imagine this is going to be a full green flag run, but I mean, hopefully they got it figured out with all these practice laps I'm watching. So I got to make a quick announcement to these guys, and I'll be right back.
That'll work. That's why William Kern handles that. I mean, talked about it here, but we'll go in depth just a little bit more. 112 laps tonight. Stages are at 28 and 56, so we'll try to get a gauge on what the fuel run is going to be and see if that's going to be something that's going to be an issue at any point tonight. But you know, night race, track temp going to be a little bit cooler than you know, obviously a day race. So a lot of drivers making laps in practice here. Seems like most everybody's got it figured out. Again, if you're going to push, now would be the time to do so. So hopefully all these mistakes get out of the way early and we have some clean racing. The racing has gotten better. I mean, we saw really clean racing really at Kansas Road Course, especially for a track that we've never been to before. So, you know, they were able to handle the left and the right turns last week. Hopefully we can tame the lefts here again and have it for some good flag racing. And Kern, before they hop into qualifying, if you want to maybe try to get with our in-race reporter here and try to get a fuel number as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I can do that.
But see it there towards the top left of your screen. 35 seconds left now in this practice session before these drivers get out on the track for their qualifying run. Same format as always, two lap qualifying here. So these drivers will have 2 laps to try to put the best lap down that they can to try to get themselves as close to the pole position as possible. Get some early track position. And looking here at the top, once this relative comes back around, I mean, well, you see Tyler and Happick in the pits now, but I believe the gap separating those two was 7 thousandths of a second. So let's see who can hold the edge. I don't know if there was any draft involved in either of those 2 laps, but nonetheless, let's see what these drivers can do when it comes down to crunch time for qualifying. All right, and we'll see which one of these drivers elects to hop out on the track first.
We are looking at anywhere between 30 and 32 laps is what people are saying.
Gotcha. So yeah, fuel probably not going to be an issue here. But we'll see how it plays out in the race.
Yeah, stages are 28 and 56, so they should be able to pretty much make the end of each stage, and then obviously make their green flag run stop.
On board now with Randy Cornwell. He was one of our first drivers to hop off pit road, our first repeat winner of the season with 2 wins, taking the green flag for his first lap here. And there it is. You hear the downshift there from Cornwell in 1 and 2, so really trying to maximize as much of that engine torque as he can. It's a little loose. Off 2, but nothing that should halt his run here. Trying to hug the rumble strip there in 3 and 4. Really get a good exit here. Set yourself up for a good entry in 1 and 2. .53.59 for Randy Cornwell in his first lap. KT McCann going to take that spot away from him. We'll hop on board now with Sean Happick. Again, one of the top drivers in practice. He's taking the green flag for his first qualifying lap. Mike Kufel takes the top spot for now on the podium. Yeah, We see Sean really electing to stay. You can kind of see the groove that there is on track on that second lane. Not getting all the way down to the rumble strips, trying to carry as much speed through the corner as he can. Maybe Mike was holding something a little back in practice, because we didn't really see him towards the top of the pylon in practice, but so far, top of the leaderboard. But Sean Happick coming out of turn 4. We'll see if he has anything to say about that. Puts him P3 on the board for now. Chris Weiniger takes the top spot away from his teammate Mike Kufel. Happick may be electing to go for a second lap qualifying. Travis George takes the top spot away now. Sean Happick crossing the line now. He scored a 9th. Let's see if he advances that place to 2nd. See if we can't find the 29. Zachary Tyler looks like he has made his qualifying laps. I believe he scored in 14th. Grady now crossing the line. He was fast in practice as well.
Yeah, our guy that was top of the practice board there, Mr. Zachary Tyler, he's actually qualified back in 15th.
And Nava makes his first lap, P6 for now. I don't know if that was his first or second lap, but we'll stay on board with him and see if he can move up. He was another driver that was fast in practice as well. Maybe a couple of these guys holding something back in practice. 2 K&W teammates, 2 co-workers as well. Chris Weiniger and Mike Kufel, 3rd and 4th on the scoring pylon right now. We'll see if Nava jumps up any more spots. He's scored in P6 currently. It looks like that's where he'll stay. Ben Thomas on track. Looks like he's shutting it down. Let's see if Christian Noble, he looks like he's shutting it down as well. Thomas Long crossing the start-finish line. Looks like this might be his second lap here. It's a little high up there in 1 and 2. That's going to hurt his run. Coming out of turn 4 now, Thomas Long scoring 33rd. We'll see if he can jump up any spots here. That looks like he will stay there.
Mr. Travis George with the pole. Mr. Sean Happick on the outside pole. So good laps by those two guys. Very close, actually.
Yes, it is. We'll stay tuned here as we hop on here for a quick drivers meeting. Let's get some words of encouragement for these drivers, and we will be back with you all in just a moment. Alrighty, so drivers meeting concluded. It looks like we've got just about everybody on grid. We will give it just another minute or two just to make sure that everybody is here and that they are able to get out on track. We'll go over our starting grid here. Starting on your pole position, we've got the number 16 in Travis George, just to his outside, the number 52 of Sean Happick. Starting in row number 2, K&W teammates of Chris Weiniger and Mike Kufel. Starting in row number 3, another K&W Motorsports teammate, Sean Wilder, and on his outside, hyperdrive driver number 15 of Justin Nava. Starting in row number 4, the 77 of Trey Young, and Bryce Tucker is going to be on his outside, your winner from last week. David Meacham in the 13, and Randy Cornwell going to be rounding out your 5th row here. Randy Cornwell, again, a multi-time winner so far here in high velocity racing. Starting just behind them in the 6th row, we've got Patrick Canburn and Bobby Grady. We'll see if Bobby Grady is able to put a race together here tonight. Just behind them, we have KT McCann and Clinton Hackett. In row number 8, the 31 of Matthew Chase with the new driver this week. Shout out to Zachary Taylor in the number 29. Looking forward to seeing what he can do out there tonight. Row number 9, we've got Corey Moore and Ryan Seabolt. And in the 10th row, we've got Andre Carvalho and Dustin Bloodworth. Just behind them, we've got Ben Thomas and relative, who I believe is the brother to Justin Nava. We've got Ed Nava starting in the 22nd position. A couple more to go here. Thomas Fuller starting on the inside in 23rd with Josh Parker on his outside in the number 81. We've got Kean Fry and Brad Dewar in the row just behind them, followed by John Shields and Christian Noble. We've got Brett Pritchard and Hunter Jock in row number 15, followed by Daniel Quinn and Kendon Cook. And rounding out what looks like to be potentially the last row here on the grid, we've got Thomas Long and Randy Post. Let's see. I believe we had a couple drivers. Nope, so these drivers didn't get on grid, so we got Tim Rourke and Michael Cole. And then rounding out your field tonight, we've got Samuel Moser and Michael Mangus. Looking at your weather here tonight, 71-degree ambient temperature outside, 70% humidity, and 74-degree track temp. So not a whole lot of variables for these drivers to bite. We have, try to get by. We have some pretty easy track conditions tonight. So hopefully these drivers can keep it clean and we can get some good green flag laps under our belt, like Curran mentioned at the top of the broadcast. So, looking forward to it. A couple of K&W drivers running up front here. We got 3 all within the top 5, so I know those guys are looking to have a strong week here. Sideline a little disorganized, so we'll elect to bring the pace car around just one more time, let these drivers get sorted out, get these EOLs taken care of. So it looks like everybody should be all set and ready to go now to take the green flag.
Yeah, we had a little technical difficulties with Mr. Winiger there, the 53 car. I'm not sure what was going on, but he couldn't get his truck fired up.
Yeah, I've been there a time or two where I accidentally tab off, and when I go to hit my button box, I'm typing in Discord or somewhere else and wondering why my truck's not started. So I've been there a couple times, but nonetheless, iRacing, not taking the access road with the pace car, so he's going to make a hard left turn there.
Hard.
Yeah. Here we go. Drivers on the restart zone now. Green flag out at Gateway. 112 laps here tonight. Drivers on the front row getting a great start. Travis George and Sean Happick. And 3 K&W drivers all within the top 5. Wilder's just going to back out here. Let these drivers sort themselves out here, try to avoid any chaos. 16 looking to clear Happy, but Happy's still there on his outside. Going to get a great run down the backstretch. We'll see who will get the better of one another here in turns 3 and 4 and lead the first lap of the race. Ooh, George driving in a little deep, going to run Sean wide. Sean looking to go in 15 and Justin Nava in the wall.
Yes, sir.
Another car in the wall. A couple cars piling into 3 and 4. See the 95 of KT McCann around as well. We mentioned it can be slick out here. Hop on board with Justin Nava, see what exactly got him around, see if he had any help or not. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, gets a little bit of help actually there. Can't tell who that was. Looks like the 53. Drives it in a little deep, gets him on that left corner. You see Justin try to save it, but overcorrects just a little bit, gets to the outside wall, and I don't really see anything else going on outside of that. We'll hop on board with the Corey Moore in the 45. It looks like he hits the wall on the inside a ton. See what happens there. Oh, KT just gets loose on the inside, washes up, gets the 00. 45 just looking for a place to go. He gets collected by KT as well, so. And then the 87 of Thomas Fuller and the 81 as well, another hard hit. So a couple of drivers here are getting themselves into some early trouble. And we see Corey Moore going to go down pit road and try to get some of his damage taken care of.
Yeah, being that this is a rookie series, they get the old quick repair. I'm not sure if I really seen too much damage there to really use that from any of these drivers, but I mean that's obviously that's up to them whether they decide to use it early or just try to hang on to it. Again, this is pretty much short track racing.
Yeah, I mean Thomas Fuller, I got him pulled up. I mean he had a pretty substantial amount of damage there from that impact with the car on the outside wall, but again, it looks like he may not be using his fast repair. He's just going to ride it out here, so. A little bit of early drama here, but doesn't look like we have any race-ending incidents as of this moment. Justin Alva frustrated, I'm sure, of course, but able to at least keep the truck clean. I mean, he gets a little bit of damage on the right rear, but nothing that shouldn't be able to be repaired by his pit crew. So he'll live to fight another day. See the lights now off on the pace car as well. See how the 52 of Sean Happett can hold up here on this restart. Of course, the first restart on the green flag drop, so no real advantage there for the control car, but now Travis George will be able to start anywhere he wants within that Geico restart zone. So we'll see if he can take advantage of that and try to get an early lead here out on these drivers that are right behind him. Again, 3 K&W Motorsports teammates though behind the front row, so see if those guys can work together and try to make something happen here. Travis George gets a great jump there on the inside. Gets to about 2 car lengths on the rest of the field. It's going to give him an early advantage here, but Sean Happett looking to make a run on the outside. Closes a little bit of ground there. Some guys jockeying for position. Gap closing ever so slightly between the top 2 here. Both of them kind of riding about a lane and a half up. Looks like Travis George electing to maybe have a little bit more of a diamond on the corner, but still gets a great run.
You know me, I love that diamond run.
Yeah, select tracks, I like it myself as well. So Travis George out to an early lead after this restart. Chris under a little bit of attack now from Bobby Grady. We see one getting loose. The 29 gets contact. Yellow flag going to be out in the air once again. Looks like just maybe 2 or 3 cars involved, so hop on board now with Josh Parker and see what things look like from his point of view. Oh yeah, he actually gets loose in turn 1, is behind the leaders as well. So we actually had a decent amount of cars get involved in that one as well.
Yeah, that's just like you said. I mean, you get on that throttle too hard, especially on cold tires coming off them corners, and it can just, you can lose that rear end real quick.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm showing a white flag on my screen. But it's just a visual bug.
Yeah, I'm not catching anything on my end.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about an advancement in the session or anything, so hope that is a bug. But yeah, this driver's just trying to get settled in here. Cautions breed cautions. It's hard to get into a rhythm when you run hard for 2 laps and then the whole field gets stacked back up, especially with a field this size. So drivers just got to calm it down here just a little bit, get a couple green flag laps under their belt, and
Yeah, this is definitely a slick track, man. I remember it from last season. It's really hard to get a hold of, especially when your tires are cold, and even the slightest bit too much throttle coming out them corners, especially if people are downshifting with them high RPMs and everything coming out, you can, that like I said, you'll lose the rear end real quick, and once it's gone, you got a real strong chance of not collecting it.
we'll see if they can get lined up here side by side one more time here and try to make something happen here on this restart. Travis George on the pole, not really having to fight for it too much.
I was about to say that. I'm sure Travis isn't minding it too much. Obviously, I don't think these guys like driving around like they are like a Sunday afternoon drive or whatever. But you know, Travis ain't got really much to worry about. He's hanging on to that first place position. I know Sean is hoping for some green flag runs. He wants to take that first place over real quick.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, at this moment in time, I mean, not really getting to see tires play a factor either. I mean, of course, there still can be a little bit of wear, but most of these laps now done under the green flag. And when we come to green, I mean, we're only going to have 18 laps to go here on the stage. So we're really not going to get to see tires really probably come into play too much in this first stage. And we know a guy like Sean who loves to try to keep the tires underneath him. That might be a strength that he wants to play to, but not being able to get the opportunity so far. Once again, lights off on the pace car.
Yeah, I'm noticing Mr. Bobby Grady has moved up 6 positions. He's gone from 12th to 6th, so.
And Travis Show's getting another launch as well. That control car just gets such an advantage in the restart zones. Epic, though, again, looking to try to get a run on the outside here. A little bit closer on the backstretch than he was the first time around.
Got a little bump drafting going on out there, too. 22 just pushed Bobby Grady down the backstretch there.
Also, driver's getting fanned out. Looks like Travis George going to hold on to the lead here again. Chris getting into the inside of 22, able to save it, though. Get saved from those two. Looks like they're both getting a little loose off of turn 4. Bobby Grady looking to make a move as well on Wilder. Let's see if he can hang on to that inside line there. We know it's a little slick.
Yeah, that'll pull him up to 4th if he can finalize that pass.
Yeah, gets there, maybe trying to side draft a little bit down the backstretch. Wilder
99. Yeah, 99 drove it in real deep.
Still holding on to it for now, though. We'll see if Grady gets the run. Wilder a little loose off the corner, but that's going to give Grady some momentum now in the 1 and 2. Now they're going to try to fight it on the outside, though. Number 9 and Mike Kufel maybe trying to play a little bit of blocker for his teammate.
He ain't quite made that pass yet. I mean, 99 is hanging on. He's making that outside line work.
Yeah, with Grady now sending it in a little deep. A good battle here for the 4th place spot. Looks like Grady might have him cleared, and he does.
He cleared himself.
Yeah, he took it, but
yeah, he's gonna fight right back.
Fighting right back. Yeah. Mike maybe parking it a little bit there on the apex, forcing Grady to go wide, but now Sean under attack from Randy Cornwell here. So Wilder potentially going to lose 2 spots here in these couple laps.
No.
Oh, contact! 22.99 going around. Yellow flag comes out. A little bit of contact there at the end, but all in all, just 2 cars involved. I know Sean is on the West Coast, so we rewind this back a little bit and see if there was maybe a little bit of net code potentially.
It looks like they did touch. They touched once. They were fine, and then he got his rear end right on the nose of 99 there and got turned. I don't think there was anything nefarious about it, but just close racing.
Yeah, we see Randy turning left a little bit, Sean turning right. They just kind of meet in the middle, and all in all, no real harm done there. I mean, the tires for Randy Cornwell are going to be a little warm and probably flat spotted, but I think with this few laps in the stage, I don't think you really take tires here. I think you just try to get your track position back, try to pick off a couple spots. But yeah, we'll see if that turns into anything later on throughout the race between those two. We know that they've raced hard all season, and they fought really hard there. A few weeks ago, I believe at Kansas, it was a close finish between the two of them. Cornwell able to get the better of Wilder in that bout, so and this is another thing that I just realized as well. I wanted to look and get confirmation. Travis George is the 4th member of K&W Motorsports. So you've got all 4. Well, I guess Wilder got caught up in that incident. Before that incident, well, he still scored in 5th. So you've got Travis George in 1st, Mike Kufel in 3rd, Chris in 5th, potentially 6th. It looks like him and Wilder are swapping spots there. So you've got all 4 of their drivers in the top 10, potentially even in the top 6. So great run from that team so far. Still a lot of race left to go here, but we'll see if they can try to hold on to it. I mean, that'd be a good point stay for the team there. That'll probably put them towards the top of the team points if they're not there already, if those 4 drivers can have that run that they're having. Should be going off the pace car this time by. See what these guys can do here. Coming to the green flag once again.
Yeah, we're going to be down to 11 laps. Sorry, 12 laps. 12 laps to the end of the stage.
Let's see if Abbott can try to get a little bit of a better restart. Although I'm sure those K&W guys are going to be timing their starts here as well.
Yeah, George got a good start again.
Yeah, against Sean, really not able to do much with the cautions.
Yeah, he got a decent start on third place though, so he was able to clear him right off the bat. So that's a plus. He didn't have to worry about his low line or anything.
So you feel getting a little loose off the 2. And we'll hold on to it though.
That's a really tight drive in mid-pack. 3 wide back there.
Going to be trying to make his way through the field as well as Sean Wilder after that last incident.
Oh, car in the infield on the backstretch.
Looks like that was Matthew Chase. Gets it back around though. We stay green flag racing. Sean 3/10 behind Travis George here. Going to try to make that up here. Keep an eye on that gap as the stage goes on. See Leonard Cornwell now on the attack, trying to get those spots back, try to get himself some stage points. Currently battling for that 10th position.
Kufel on the outside wall. Coming out of 4.
Yellow flag out in the air now. Looks like Kean Fry.
Yeah, it looks like Randy Cornwell.
Yeah, just trying to get through the field. Potentially a little bit of contact there with Bloodworth. Yeah, potentially a little bit of net code there. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle. He may have still got him anyway, but 22 involved in yet another incident, so that's really going to hurt his run trying to get back up into the stage points. And then just 14 of Kean Fry just comes piling in and makes the situation a little bit worse for all 3 of those drivers. Hop on board with him and see what it looked like from his point of view. Yeah, sees it happen and doesn't really look like he tries to miss it. I'll hop on board with him on the cockpit view and see, but just keeps his foot in it with 2 cars wrecking in front of him, and I mean that's going to be a fast repair for him.
So we're 23 laps into this. Mr. Travis George has not given up that first place position. Sean is just, again, he's wanting these green flag runs. That's where he shows most of his speed at, and he's just not getting them. Bobby Grady, again, he's moved up quite a bit. He's started 12th. He's up to 3rd now.
Yeah, well, why don't we take this time here, try to see if we can't get in touch with number 16 of Travis George. Hey, Travis, this is Bryce up here in the booth, man. You got a copy? You got a copy on us, Travis?
Yeah, I hear you guys now.
There you go. Well, man, first and foremost, congratulations on the pole. Get yourself out front, get you some clean air. You know, Sean was a guy that was quick in practice, but you really haven't had to contest him too much with all the cautions. I know you got a couple of your teammates out front there as well. What are you looking to do to try to hold on to the first place spot here for these last couple of laps of the stage one?
I'm just trying to keep it smooth. I wasn't even expecting to be able to pull that pole off, not gonna lie. I was gonna think it was gonna be a rough, like maybe top 10. Now I've just been keeping it smooth, and I'm gaining a little bit, but I know Sean's got more, I'm sure.
But yeah, well, it looks like the lights are back up on the pace car, man. We'll let you get back to your team, and good luck to you here, and try to fight these guys off here for a few more laps to stage one.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, and I kind of was talking about it there a little bit in qualifying. I was surprised by our running order in qualifying just because of the times that we saw in practice. So I don't know if some guys were holding some stuff back or if maybe track conditions changed between those two sessions, but nonetheless a little bit of mix up there on the scoring tower from practice that we saw in qualifying. So we'll see who has race pace though. Coming to 3 laps to go in stage 1. Try to get a good start now. Front row, or the second row, excuse me, looking a little bit different. We've got Bobby Grady now makes his way up to the second row as well as David Meacham. And I believe Meacham might be on some new equipment this week as well. But green flag back in the air. Great start for Travis George. Bobby Grady gets a pretty good start too behind him. Sean may have been caught sleeping there a little bit.
I have noticed that Sean likes to give a lot of room to that front car, so he doesn't. He's a little scared, I think, of that black flag, which I don't blame him.
No, I don't.
Got a car in the wall.
Triple monitors. I mean, that should give him a little bit of an advantage though to be able to see that car and stay close to him. So he's going to lose a spot there. Potentially another one to the 13 to David Meacham if he can get around him on the inside. Grady up 10 spots now in the P2. Pit lane going to be closed this time by. 2 laps to go here in stage number 1. We'll see if Happy can get to Grady or George, but George pulling away now. Half a second lead on Grady. Looks like some battle in there in the middle of the pack. 2-3 wide for some of these drivers. It's going to be the white flag here in stage 1. Looks like the 7 now getting around Chris. Now under attack from Hunter. See what happens here in turn number 1. And going to be staying on that low lane. Chris can try to punch him down just a little bit and get a good run. 2 wide behind him. Justin Nava looking to make his way back up to the field. Travis George pretty much running away, but Grady under a little bit of heat now from Sean. I don't know if Sean will be able to get the run. Travis George going to be your winner here in stage number 1, followed by Bobby Grady, Sean Happy, David Meacham, Trey Young, Mike Kufeld, Bryce Dunker, Chris Weiniger, Hunter Jogg, Sam Moser. Rounding out your top 10 here in stage number 1. So glad that we're able to end that stage in green flag conditions, and Travis George showing that he's got some speed out there. One thing that I am going to be curious to see is if Sean does hold on to that 3rd place spot after the pit cycles, if he's going to be able to get a great launch behind the control car and maybe try to get that 2nd place spot back and try to give Travis George a little bit of a run here. And track position proving to be king here once again in the Rookie Truck Series. Can't stress just how important it is to be that control car. Just making my way around on the backstretch now. Should make a dive here to pit road. Here they come down pit road now. Should see a majority of the field coming down. It's your top 10 all down pit road right there. to Chase electing to stay out, take a wave around, get himself a lap back there. That'll put him back on the lead lap. That's what I was just about to call out. A little bit of strategy coming out of Sean there. Doesn't feel like those tires really were used up there in that first stage with all the caution. So it looks like he just gets himself fuel with Sunoco race fuel, and he's going to get himself back out there. But I want to see if we can't now get in touch with Bobby Grady, who was able to make up a lot of ground there in that first stage. Let's see if we can't find Grady and tap in with him. There we go.
Or Ford.
Hey, Grady, this is Bryce up in the booth. Sorry to cut you off there, man, but hell of a run out of you there in that first stage. I believe you ended up gaining 10 spots in that first stage. How were you able to do it, man?
Yeah, it was a little tough trying to keep this thing down, and just trying to be smooth, save the tires, and let other people make mistakes.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that, not to harp on you too much, but you've even been a little bit critical of yourself on the mistakes during the race, and now it looks like you're looking to capitalize on the mistakes of others. So far, a great run for you in stage number 1. Do you think you're going to have anything for him here in stage 2?
Yeah, we'll see on a long run. You know, I try to take care of the car now and stay away from things that are happening, and you know, I've heard that from a few people, so hey, I appreciate it.
And not a problem, man. Well, good luck to you in the stage number 2, and we'll see if we'll be hearing from you a little bit later on today. Good luck, my man.
Thank you.
There we go. That was Bobby Grady. He finishes stage number 2 in P2. Keep our eye now on Sean Happick again. No tires here. We'll see if he's going to be able to get himself a great launch here out of the Geico restart zone. I'm a little bit surprised to see this out of Sean, though. He usually, we don't see him veer off too far from strategy, but maybe this is what's going to separate him tonight and try to get him one step closer to victory lane. He's calling off now. And we see him coming up on the Geico restart zone. Sean gets a great launch there. Goes to about the middle of the zone. Really good launch, actually. Grady now going to be attacking Justin Nava. He clears him, though, so Sean maybe would have liked to see those two fight a little bit harder for that second spot.
Got a turn.
Got Randy Post around. Sean Wilder involved in some more action as well. So caution flag out here once again. Stay tuned, and I will be right back. Sorry about that. We are back. These early restarts, though, are going to give Sean a little bit of an advantage as well.
Yeah, he's actually in the same position Travis George was in. So a couple of the cars that ended up getting turned on that last caution, unfortunately, Travis George was one of them.
Oh, yeah, so unfortunate for him. We'll see if he can make his way back up there. We've seen Wilder and Cornwell were involved in an early incident, and they still trying to battle to make their way towards the front. So, you know, happy on the older tires now. And again, every restart that we get here is going to help bridge that gap just a little bit further. See if he can get another good launch.
Good launch. Got about a 2 to 3 truck lead.
Gets himself clear in turn 1.
He's getting a good run off the corners too.
And it looks like we've got yet another yellow flag. Let's see what happens here. Well, Travis George just getting a little aggressive on the throttle. Gets loose outside of turn 2 and loops it around. Sean Happy finds your way at the front of the field with a little bit of strategy there at the end of that first stage, yeah?
Yeah, I had teammate Tommy went in and he spun out, got in a wreck, said his was at 98, so figured I'd chance it, get around these guys. I feel like I'll be pretty hard to pass. I figured if I stay out front 10, 15 laps, our tire wear will become pretty even, so I should be able to hold them off, if I can hold them off that long.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you guys haven't really gotten that many green flag laps, so I can't imagine there was too much wear on your tires. I highly, yeah, I mean, I highly doubt they even got up to temp, really. But yeah, good strategy call, put you out front. Unfortunately, Travis George had, well, this last caution was him involved, but the one before that as well. So he's had a little bad luck. So it looks like it's going to be possibly a Sean and a Bobby Grady show as of right now. See if you can hold him off, huh?
I don't know what you meant by unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, I know
Unfortunately for him.
Oh.
Sean, I know you're happy to see these kind of yellow flag laps go by selfishly. I mean, you know, every lap that we turn under yellow is just one more lap that helps bridge the gap between your tires and the fresh tires. So you think you can hold off Grady? I mean, he's made a hell of a run up towards the front of the field, but do you think you can hold him off here for this next stage?
He is. I feel like I'm getting a way better exit off of 1 and 2 than most of these guys. Then they get a little bit on me coming out of 4. So I'm just going to do my darndest. I know I just wanted to lead a lap, get some points. Maybe I can hold them off for the stage, and maybe I can do something with that extra set at the end.
Yeah, we can, up here in the booth, we can definitely see you are getting a really good run coming off from 2. I have noticed that. Bobby Grady likes to dive her in there pretty good coming into the entrance of the turns, but you're getting a hell of a run off from it. So good luck on this stage, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again here soon.
All right, hope so. Thanks, guys.
So there we go. That was your race leader, 52, Sean Happick. You heard it from him. Tire wear not much of an issue here in that first stage, especially with all the yellow. So makes a strategy play, gains a couple of positions after the stage, and sees himself out front. We'll see if he can hold on to it here for another couple handfuls of laps and try to get him a stage win here. Couple big movers here tonight, though. Bobby Grady, up 10 spots. Corey Moore, involved in an early incident. He's still up 12 spots. Number 64, Hunter Jock, he's up 23 spots from where he started. So, decent amount of big movers here as well tonight. A couple big movers in the opposite direction, unfortunately, as well. We'll see if they can get their way back up to the field. Likes like Justin Nava and Sean Wilder, which he's making his way back up, but we We saw it there with Travis George trying to make his way aggressively up towards the front and gets a little anxious on the throttle and gets himself into more trouble. So we'll see what happens. Happy gets a good start, but Grady kind of catching on to it a little bit. Really want to try to mix up where you're starting these restart zones, but Sean Wilder looking to go for a move 3 wide in turns 1 and 2 off the start, but he thinks better of it. Gets around cleanly. Ryder Grady and David Meacham now side by side coming into turn 3. And we've seen Grady driving in a little bit deeper on entry. Looking for a cutback maybe. Not able to get it done, so David Meacham gonna take that spot away from Bobby Grady, at least for now. Sean's gonna love to see that in his rearview mirror. Hopes Grady gets back to him. Trying to fight him off. We've seen David Meacham have some pretty good speed this season as well. Another driver who's kind of been plagued by some self-inflicted mistakes, as well as Grady in the number 1 car behind him. So Sean holding on to the lead here for now. Got a 3-second gap into turn 1. We'll see if he can hold on to that on the exit of turn 2. Looks like he does, and we see it there. Gap now increasing to 4/10, so a really good run off of turn 2 for Sean Happick.
Oh, 9 car just took out 77.
Trey Young able to hold on to it. Caution still comes out though. Just when Sean was getting that lead extended, we get another caution. You see it there. That's our 8th caution of the night, so our 7th unscheduled caution.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what happened right there. I'm not sure if you looked at it yet or not, but I know Cuffle dove it in and wanted that bottom line. He was down there, and the 77, I don't know if he didn't know if he was there or not, or was planning on just making that arc to come down that line, but brought his rear right over the nose of Cuffle. So, racing incident, I can't really see anything, again, nefarious about that, but tough for the 77 for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here now. It looks like 77 maybe just gets a little loose on entry. Tries to get the truck settled. Take a look at it again now from his point of view. Gets a little loose, but oh, that's a lot of netcode there on my end. You can see that's where contact is made, and I don't know if Kufel would have got to him there. It would have been close, but ultimately, that one caused by netcode. We see that happen a little bit here on the iRacing platform. So nothing malicious there. I don't think anything done with intent, like Will said. It's a little bit of part of racing online with connections involved. Again, Sean Happick going to look to try to get a great restart here. Maybe 10 laps to go here when they cross the start-finish line. Really want to see Sean switch it up here in the restart zone. I mean, I know Grady now loses a couple of positions and doesn't start on his outside, but if Happy keeps restarting in the same spot on the track, there's a good chance that one of these guys can try to time it and limit that run that he gets on the initial start. Pretty decent watch there. See, now that gap only about 1 truck length now, so these drivers are catching on to what he's doing there a little bit. Nonetheless, holds on to the spot. 13 of David Meacham, though, looking low, does get to his inside. But there we go. We see that run from Happick. Saw a couple guys getting loose just behind him, but they hold on to it. Mike Kufel driving in deep into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, so did Grady. He dove it in pretty deep, too.
Oh, Mike in the wall. Hangs on to it, though.
He's got it.
Hard hit, though. I don't know if that's going to do any damage to his truck there or not, but that looked like a pretty hard impact.
Yeah, I got to tell you, these walls here, even though they got the safer barriers on them, they are unforgiving.
Yeah, the wall is typically not a place you want to be. We see now Brett Pritchard under a little bit of attack now from Ryan Seabolt in the 00. See the 77 of Trey Young just behind him again, involved in that last incident. Now looking to make a move.
Oh, a couple's way up high. Hey, he was pretty much wall riding right there. I haven't seen that here yet.
So Sean getting that lead just under where it was before the yellow flag came back out, hovering around 3/10, looking to increase that here as well on the front stretch. Yeah, the caution flag back out in the air again. I didn't really see anything. I don't see anybody around. Up on towards the back of the field here and see if we can see anything up in the distance, but again, I didn't really see anything there. Debris out on the track, maybe. I'm not really sure what caused that one.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either. I'm not sure. The old phantom caution. iRacing staying true to real-life NASCAR policies, it looks like here. So Sean only going to have a couple more laps left to defend his first stage here. I mean, Meacham was kind of holding on early in that stint and Happy able to extend the lead a little bit there before the yellow flag come out, so... These trucks lining back up now.
So 51. Stage was at 56. So we'll have a couple more laps here to go.
I'm kind of with you. I think Sean needs to change up his starting spot here. Because you're right, Meacham is definitely understanding what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he started, I mean, even there again, I mean, he's kind of starting just before he gets to the middle of the zone, and he gets a pretty decent launch there, but, you know, being able to be the control car in the restart zone, I mean, you know, one of the things that I've been able to have success with is not starting in the same exact spot every single time.
Yeah, you don't either. I can't, even as a teammate, I can't tell where you're starting.
I mean, you get such an advantage. I mean, you know, you go early in the box, one zone, and then you go late, and I mean, it can be trickier, right? Because I mean, the later that you get into the box, maybe it's a little bit easier to time just because you run out of space. But nonetheless, car
got a
around.
turn.
Oh, car spinning everywhere. That's a hard hit for 00 as well. 29 doing a good job though of just staying parked there on the front stretch, being predictable. And I believe that's going to bring us to the stage, if I'm not mistaken. That'll probably be stage there, so. Yeah, wow, that pace car must have came out at the perfect time because these drivers are already diving down pit road, so. That will conclude our second stage here at Gateway. Once these drivers cycle through their pit stops, we'll try to see if we can grab the 13 of David Meacham up in the booth and talk to him about his run. And I would think Sean's probably going to take tires here. But now I wonder, does somebody else do the same strategy that Happy did? Because we didn't really have a lot of green flag laps there in that stage either.
Yeah, his truck is up off the ground, so he's definitely taking them.
Yeah, he takes tires here. I wonder if anybody else. Yeah,
I think we might have had some 2 tires pits, possibly.
Yeah, David Meacham comes out ahead. Did you announce that that was staged to these guys, by the way?
I did.
Well, let's see if we can't try to grab David Meacham. Let's see if he's in a call. There he is. Hey, David, this is Bryson Will up here in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you find yourself back towards the front there at the end of that stage. Of course, a couple yellows come out, but you got yourself back up to the front row and able to get some good stage points there in stage number 2, man. How are you feeling about this final stint?
If it goes green, good. It's fun when you get to racing.
Yeah, unfortunate the amount of yellows that we've had tonight, but it looks like they're potentially a little bit of a strategy call for you down there on pit road. Is that correct?
No, I took 4.
You did take 4. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just a slow shot for Happy, but nonetheless, man, I believe these cars in front of you might be cycling around for the wave round, so that'll put you there in the starting position in this final stage, man. Good luck to you. I hope you can fight these boys off, and maybe we'll see you again here once this thing is all said and done.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, he will not be cycled around to the front. If anything, Hunter Mike's. I seen that Hunter Waukes or whatever 64 truck has. He only took 2 tires and he came out in front.
Gotcha. So yeah, we'll see what cycles out here. We'll see how many of these drivers do get waved around the pace car here. But I think you are correct. I believe I did see a couple drivers getting out front there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any wave rounds. These are all, that's a lineup.
Yeah, so that's some new names up front here. A great start, though, for John Shields on the inside. Wow. See everybody fading out in turn 1. Side by side.
Yeah, a lot of these guys is 4 wide. We're 4 wide on the backstretch.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of room here for that. Chase thinks better of it. He backs out. Looks like David Meacham potentially going to be the beneficiary to that move.
But yeah, Chase, a little
And
sideways.
He gets loose, yep. Brady trying to make his way around. He's not trying to lose any time. And that's what I was thinking in my head there. We saw these drivers stay out, and I was wondering how aggressive these cars that came down pit road were going to be to try to get back towards the front. And so far, it looks like that's holding to be true. But so far, John Shields got 6/10 on the rest of the field now. We'll see how long he'll be able to maintain that lead with the fuel potentially being an issue.
That's that clean air, man. You're not worried about traffic around you or anything. You can really take off, especially on a track like this. I mean, you got Meacham and Happick back here. You know, what are they, back in 10th, 9th?
Yeah, 7th for Meacham now from that move. But yeah, you got
yeah, I
Happick
mean,
scored in 10th.
They're really starting to lose some ground here. Just, you know, they're back in traffic. They're having to fight, and see, these guys are going 3 wide right now. I'm sure they're nervous as heck. Looks like a couple sideways.
Kufel sideways, hangs on to it though. Great save from him. Great job everybody else able to avoid contact. So Happy now gets around his teammate and gets around KT as well. Now again, I'm sure some of these cars that did elect to stay out, and they're going to have to pit. And we see contact up front. The 64 though, he kind of helps the 46 keep it clean. So that'll be a couple more spots there for Sean Happick as well.
I mean, that's one way to take them off the list, I guess.
Yeah, and again, I'm wondering how long these cars are going to be able to stay out before they have to come down pit road, and if this might be a 2-stopper for them, depending on cautions. But so far, I mean, kind of hate to say it, but I think after another lap or two, this might be the longest green flag run that we have. So this would be kind of an inopportune time for these drivers to have that happen. But so far,
yeah,
Meacham making quick work. He's up to P5 now.
Yeah, Sean's still stuck back in traffic at 8th, so.
And he might be conserving a little bit. I liked how his tires felt in stage 1.
Man, Shields though, he's keeping that distance right out front. He's right out there, man.
Yeah, Tennessee native, and unfortunately, I gotta say that truck is pretty ugly. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean he's almost up to a second now. That's the biggest lead that we've seen from that first place spot so far in this race. Happick now though on the inside of Dustin Bloodworth, who I believe is a teammate, so able to make quick work of him. Now he's got another teammate of Andre Carvalho up ahead in his sights, and Carvalho, a guy that may have elected to have some strategy or stayed out there on that last stint, so should get to him decently quick. We know Sean's fast here as well, and he's proved that, but David Meacham is a man on a mission right now, up to P3. Gets around Travis George there in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, you already mentioned it though before the race even started, how Sean he likes keeping his tires as fresh as possible. He really takes it easy on them and everything for that long run, and I think that's exactly what he's doing. Like he's knocking guys off the list and everything, getting closer up to the front, but not as quickly as Meacham did, and I gotta imagine he's conserving right now.
Keep an eye on that though. John Shields again so far able to run away with the lead a little bit. I mean, gap coming back down now to Camberon though.
Yeah, how about starting 27th and coming out here and leading the race, and not just a fluke either. Like, oh, we got a sideways again. Bobby Grady around.
Yeah, Bobby Grady in the 53. Oh, K&W teammates. That's 3 of the K&W guys on the inside wall on the front stretch. That is not what you like to see. I believe it was 3. I for sure saw the 9 and the 99. Maybe just 2. Or no, yeah, because that was the 53 of Chris Weiniger as well. So we see it jockeying for position up ahead. Chris gets on the rumble strips. No, it looks like Grady maybe just got a little bit loose on the outside of Chris. Everybody's checking up, and the 9 clips Mike in the back, just kind of know where to go for him. So it looks like, if anything, that one may have potentially been on Grady. We'll hop back on board with him again. It looks like he just got a little bit loose there on the outside. No, it doesn't get loose. I think the 53 actually just expects Grady to be a little bit out closer to the wall. I mean, Chris kind of comes up, but that's, I mean, if you... We'll take a look at the 53 in relation to the monster truck in front of him. Both hugging the line. I mean, yeah, I think actually, if anything, I might put that on the 53. Just maybe expecting Grady to be a little bit higher up on the outside line there, and gets collected, and then a little bit of friendly fire there with the K&W guys. We see a couple of them now going down pit road, and it looks like John Shields made his way down pit road, because that cycles Patrick Canburn and David Meacham up on your front row, and Travis George and Sean Happick now. So Happick's going to be on that second row, looking to make his way up front. So a little bit unfortunate to say, but I believe that was our longest green flag run. And I mean, again, Shields able to hold on to it pretty good, especially if he was on old tires. I mean, again, maybe not that much of a disadvantage with the caution laps that we've had here tonight, but nonetheless, got himself a pretty good lead there for a couple laps. Definitely going to be at least one more stop from this point on, but I mean, maybe if we get, I don't think there's no way they stretch it.
I mean, I'm literally going through that in my head right now. I'm almost wondering if I'm mid-pack back, I would have came in now, topped off, depending on whether I needed tires or not. You know, I would at least gotten a full tank of fuel. And with the amount of cautions we had, there's a good chance you could have ended up staying out there.
With the amount of cautions we had being midfield, there's a good chance you might end up in one of those as well. So a little bit of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I like pit strategy sometimes, but you're right. Sometimes it just doesn't work out in your favor.
Tough at a track like this where, you know, not a lot of real estate out there to make evasive maneuvers if need be. And again, we see in that last caution a little bit of friendly fire between K&W teammates as well. So we'll see what these guys here in the front row can do. Looks like potentially a delayed green. Lights back out on the pace car.
Yeah, I didn't do that. That must have been iRacing for some reason. I got to get a button that when iRacing does that to advance. I don't even know why iRacing did that. Probably same thing as what they did with that one caution. We had no clue why it was thrown.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything unless somebody just got loose and alt that forward or something. I didn't see anybody disconnect either. I mean, that was weird. But yeah, iRacing sometimes takes a little bit of a mind of its own. We're about halfway now, just over halfway, I believe. I would say, depending on how many more cautions we get, I would say definitely at least one more stop here in this race.
Yeah, they got 44 laps to go.
Let's back off, so now we should be ready to roll. There it is.
84 got a good jump.
Yeah, 13 of David Meacham, though. He gets a pretty good lunch on the outside as well. Travis George potentially sleeping just a little bit. Sean gets to his outside. Yeah, I mean, Sean just takes the long way around in 1 and 2. I believe George, one of those guys that maybe had a strategy call it straight out. So Sean makes pretty quick work of him. Looks like everybody getting around cleanly. Patrick a little tiny bit off pace. Turns 3 and 4, and yet again we have another caution out. Looks like the 9 of Mike Kufel involved in this one. Out the 74 Mangus. Oh yeah, the 74 Mangus gets loose into 3. Kind of gets up in the marbles, saves it, and then overcorrects it, and nowhere to go from Mike, and that puts him hard, and that kills his motor. So I know Mike was caught up in some early trouble. I don't know if he's got a fast repair left. If not, that's going to be his night over.
Yeah, even if he does have a fast repair left, he had to tow, so that's at least a few minutes right there. So he's gonna be down a minimum of probably 3 laps under these caution laps here.
That's not what you wanted to see if you were the 9 of Mike Kufel. He's had a pretty solid run tonight. I mean, involved in some stuff here and there, but he had a pretty solid run up to that point. Had a good qualifying lap. He qualified in second row, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's 27 spots behind where he started, so he scored in 31st. I wonder if we get 10, 15 laps under our belt, if that. I wonder if we see any of these guys dive down pit road. I mean, you don't really want to be caught up in the traffic in the field, but we go another handful of laps and we continue to get a couple cautions, you may be able to stretch it on fuel.
Yeah, as of right now, we're 40 to go.
Yeah, the window was just below that, if I'm not mistaken, a couple laps here and there, so.
Yeah, anywhere between 30 and 33.
Yeah, so if we go 5, 6, maybe even 7 laps, come down and pit, get a couple more cautions, you might be able to make it the rest of the way. Now, if we get into green light checkers, it'll get a little hairy. But
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, though, I mean, if you're at the back of the pack and you ain't been doing well tonight, I mean, that's one of them calls I would make. Like, I'm coming in, I'm chancing this. I mean, I got nothing to lose at that point.
yeah, exactly. Well, still got 29 cars, though, on the lead lap. It's going off. We'll see if Cameron can get a good launch here in the restart zone. Ooh, but, I mean, Meacham was a little bit ahead of him there. I wonder if that'll be a black flag for David Meacham. We'll have to keep our eye on that. It was close between those two. Cars fanning out behind him. Looks like Meacham stays out for now. Front two getting a little bit of a gap. We see Cornwell lingering in the background as well, looking to make his way back up. board at 9th right now.
Not too many people electing to use that bottom right up against that white line at the bottom. A lot of them at least a lane up.
Yeah, we see Nava on the wall off of 2. Sean Wilder potentially involved in another incident here. Yet another yellow.
Yeah, right here I'm coming in.
Oh,
Whether
that was bad. That was some pretty bad netcode right there. I mean, that's a foot and a half, 2 feet worth of netcode. He gets clobbered though as well. Hard hit for Wilder.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see these guys come in. Like I said, I'd come in. I can't believe they didn't right there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we'll see if we get any takers further back through the field. So far, it looks like everybody's staying out. I'm sure those involved in that incident will be making their way down pit road, but
With the amount of cautions we've had tonight, yeah, I would have came in right there, whether I was in the lead or whatever. There's no doubt you could make it. I mean, you're as of right now, you're at 36 laps to go. Is just over the line to where you can make it green flag run, but again, with the amount of cautions we've had, we're guaranteed to have at least a couple more.
yeah, I would agree with you. I think I come in there. I mean, even if you're like, well, that's the thing. You really don't even need to take tires here as well. I mean, with the lack of green flag laps that we've had here in this run, you really don't need to take tires as well. So,
Yeah, and Sean's already proven that.
yeah, I mean, we saw it there in stage 2. Doesn't take any tires at the end of stage 1. And I mean, again, we had a decent amount of cautions, but able to get his way towards the front and looking to do that again here, try to get some clean air. I know how bad Happy wants to get this truck in victory lane, especially here at Gateway.
It doesn't look like anybody's taken that pit lane, which is surprising.
Yeah, I would think you would be safe to assume if we get another pretty clear caution here. Well, I would say another caution. I would think that's, I mean, I'm with you. I think, honestly, it's kind of clear cut to come this time, but I think next time for sure, there's no way we don't see people come down. Unless they think they can super stretch it from here. I mean, I don't know how that field is looking, but I doubt it. But
Unless we got some guys shutting that thing off like every millisecond, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but that's a long way to stretch it.
It is. But maybe they're thinking this trend's going to continue. I mean, you figure 3 to 4 laps under caution. I mean, you can save quite a bit of fuel there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 12 caution laps just in the last handful of laps of green flag. So, I mean, it's possible. Sean, no, he does need to get aggressive on this restart. I think, honestly, if I'm Sean, especially with how this race has gone, I don't think it's a bad idea to try to get that truck onto the front row in that first place position, again, with all the cautions that we've had, regardless of having to come down pit road again or not. Sean should have a little bit of an advantage, though, starting behind the control car.
You know, if they do end up coming in, we do get another caution, and they do end up coming in, there's going to definitely be some 2-tire calls. And possibly no tire calls, like you said.
Yeah, Patrick gets a good start, and Sean's sleeping a little bit behind him, but holds on to third. Under attack, though, from Travis George on the outside.
How about Travis coming back to 4th position, huh? He was involved in a couple wrecks now.
Yeah, some good composure out of Travis George to be able to, like you said, work his way back up towards the front. I believe he is on an older set of tires as well, which, again, may or may not really matter too much at this stage in the race, but able to get back up there at P3, so props to him. And I mean, Randy Cornwell as well. I mean, he's scored in 7th right now, battling with the 64, so another bounce back from Randy Cornwell as well. Travis George a little loose on 1 and 2. KT McCann as well. come out of nowhere in P5. We saw him involved in that early incident. He goes a lap down, gets a lucky dog, and now makes his way up to battling for fourth between him and Travis George. So another great run from KT here as well. See if he can hold on to it. Patrick getting a pretty solid gap over these two. Hapik, though, making a little bit of ground up on Meacham now. Gap between first and second, though, up to 7/10. Just 2/10 separate the drivers here battling for the second place position. Those tires, Sean was maybe able to save a little bit there coming in clutch. He gets a pretty good run here off of 4.
Yeah.
Not quite enough to do anything with it just yet. We'll see if he makes a move, though, in 1 and 2.
I'm almost thinking Meacham might have used up his tires, to be honest with you. Trying to work his way up through that pack.
Yeah, we've seen Sean have strong exit off of 2. He is within striking distance now. See if he dives low. Is Sean going to take the shorter way around the track here in 3 and 4? Does he clear him? He does. Yeah. So they lose a little bit of time there battling. That makes the gap just, well, a second now. But we'll see if Happy can close that in. David Meacham driving it in hard. Almost gets into the back of Sean. David having to check up there quite a bit. So that's going to hurt his run off of 2.
Yeah, let's see if Sean can catch this leader now.
Well, and I'm going to take a look at this here and confirm my theory. Oh no, they all pit on the same lap. So, yeah, I mean, fuel going to be relatively close for these drivers. So if, and big if, this race stays green,
It did
here, and it there as soon as I mentioned it. So surely drivers come down pit road here. Let's hop on board though. Looks like the 7 of Bryce Tucker potentially involved in this one. Yeah, just gets loose coming off of 4, gets a little bit of help. I mean, does a great job this far, though. Doesn't hit any, I mean, does a great job of limiting the damage there. You hear him throttle up as he goes towards the wall and gets the truck, moving back up the track. So, great avoidance out of him. I mean, he gets a little bit of contact, but it looks like a little bit of neck coat on the wall because that damage pops right back out. So, great job by Bryce Tucker to limit the damage down there. Now, surely, Kern, we see these guys come down pit road.
I mean, I gotta imagine so, yes. I mean, yeah, they're diving down. I was gonna say, I can't imagine anybody making it and stretching it as far as what we were thinking could be possible, but...
Now, we saw Happy lose spots here on that last pit stop. Let's see if he can hold on to P2 at the end of this cycle. I mean, if he's been able to save more fuel under caution than these guys as well, then that'll give him a little bit of advantage. I would assume that these guys towards the front really wouldn't take any tires.
So, Randy Cornwell stays out.
Interesting. Let's see when his last pit was. I think before this pit stop, they were... Yeah, I mean, Cornwell pit on the same lap as the leaders. It looks like Shield stayed out, but he pit on lap 65, so... That's going to be a close stretch as well. So
yeah, Sean took 4. I'll have to check on KT McCann, but he came out in front of Meacham and Sean. He might have taken 2.
Yeah, I'm actually going to hop on board with KT now and see. So Sean does lose a couple of spots on pit road as well as just on track. A couple guys staying out. Oh, KT takes 4 as well.
That must have been a heck of a stop.
Yeah, he may have came down a little bit. Well, I would say it came down later, but I mean, I don't really know that matters because I think even if you take 4, I don't think you have to wait on fuel too much here. So, yeah, just great pit stop. So that, I mean, that puts Sean ahead of Meacham though. I know.
Yeah.
The top 6 stayed out. So, I mean, we saw it a little bit earlier on in this race. How aggressive are these guys going to be to try to get towards the front, and are they going to make any mistakes or get involved in anything on their way back up there? I mean, Cornwell and Shields have shown pace. I mean, Cornwell getting involved in an early incident, but he shows pace. We haven't really seen too much from Samuel Moser. We've seen Pritchard up hovering around the top 10. Zachary Tyler was quick in practice, didn't have really too much to show for it in qualifying, and Kenny Cook as well has had a quiet night. So this is about to get real interesting here with around 30-ish laps to go.
Yeah, we're gonna have about 26 laps to go. Yep. I don't know. Like that's there's a lot of mix up front there, man. Older tires, fuel strategy.
Patience, tires, fuel, aggressiveness. We'll see what happens. Pace car off. Looks like Cornwell is the control car. He elects to take the outside. I believe he's the control car, I believe. Yeah, based off that start.
Gone.
He's definitely the control car. And he gets a good jump. Let's hop on board now and see what these guys on fresher tires can do.
Oh, car on the infield. Coming into one. Looks like he's got it under control, though.
3 wide, staggered on the backstretch. Patrick may have gotten a penalty there. He's diving down pit road. So that's going to be a free spot for some of these guys behind him. They're spreading out all over on the front stretch. Yellow flag back out in the air. Christian Noble involved in that one. Let's hop on board with him and see what happens. Gets on the rumble strips, just gets loose and sends her onto the inside wall.
You know, with these cautions coming out, these guys have been up front all night. Meacham, Travis George, Sean. I mean, they're gonna run out of laps really fast, man, and they're gonna run out of patience, I'm sure too, with these guys staying out and being out front of them. I think they might start some pushing and shoving here pretty soon.
Yeah, thank God I had a wireless headset. I had to go take care of something. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the more laps that dwindle down, the more aggressive these guys need to be to try to make up this track position that they lost by coming down pit road. With 23 to go. I believe it's going to be 21 when we take the green flag again.
Yeah, Cornwell is on a fuel strategy here. He's shutting his truck off.
Just how close he is to his number.
You know, it's too bad you can't see that with the gauges for like fuel pressure. Or fuel, like how much fuel gauge or whatever. See how much he had in it, but you can't tell that.
Yeah, that would make fuel saving a whole hell of a lot easier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think these guys know now it's go time. Especially with all the cautions that we've had up to this point. You got to get what you can get while you can get it. Think this caution should put those drivers that just came down pit road. This should, I would think, put them in their number or very close to. I know you mentioned Cornwell trying to hold on to his fuel and try to stretch that as far as he can. And we'll see what happens with that. But looks to take the outside again.
He is
Great
getting,
jump.
yeah, he's getting really good jumps. Oh man, they're getting really close right there coming off. Oh, there it is.
Oh, huge impact for Meacham. That's a motor blown. Oh, big contact at the back of the field as well. That's going to be a tow for Meacham. That's his night done. Car's still piling in. I know Cornwell's loving this right now as well.
Oh, Cornwell's coming down. Yeah, he's coming down pit road. I'm actually, apparently he just couldn't make it.
Yeah, so him and Shields both, I believe they were towards the front if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to move Sean up another spot here as well. So P3 for Sean. He's working his way back up towards the front.
Yeah, how about KT though? Second place right now.
Yeah, KT, I mean, caught in an early incident. Gets put a lap down, gets a lucky dog early on in the race, and slowly makes his way through the field and scored in the second place spot now. And I mean, Sammy Moser, a guy that stayed out on that last main caution when we thought the guys were going to pit, so he could be in a situation close or similar to Cornwell, excuse me, and I don't know how much longer he's going to hold off on fuel, but time will tell. I just know that Sean's eyes are probably really big right now.
My only concern about Moser right now is he does blink quite a bit, so hopefully he doesn't do that up front and cause any issues.
That would be very unfortunate, but after the race we've had tonight, I wouldn't even be surprised. Well, Sean is in a very good spot right now to try to win this race. But look at Justin Nava makes his way back up. Travis George as well. Some guys that have shown they can run up front tonight. So the battle for this first place spot is about to pick up a whole hell of a lot here. Green flag out once again. Pretty decent start. Looks like Sean got a good start. KT may have spun the tires, so that's going to compromise his run. Does Sean get to the inside? No, he doesn't. KT sending
What
it
a
big.
jump!
Yeah, and see Sean now kind of stuck behind Moser. Moser moves up, though.
What a jump for KT. That is, I mean, he just like drove around Moser on that outside.
Yes, he did. Sean needs to get around him quick, and it looks like that's going to happen. Moser just getting
Oh,
up in the
wall right.
marbles. Oh, contact. Travis George again saves it from the inside wall.
Yeah, Travis actually apologized for that. He said it was his fault.
Sean sending it big in turn 2.
Yeah, he's got places to be, man. He's got to go. Now's the time.
Gap just under half a second on the backstretch. Caution out again. I don't see anything on track.
Yeah, I was on the backstretch coming into 3.
You have any car numbers?
Give me a second. I'll pay attention. I'll look real quick. 1 car was involved, and I can't tell if that's 54 at the bottom in the grass. But coming into 3, the 1 car got into another truck.
Oh, yep. See it here coming off of turn 2. Bobby Grady on the inside of Ian Fry. And 14 just comes across the nose of Bobby Grady. Grady holds his line, and 14, I don't know if he's trying to get around Bloodworth, or I'm not really sure what happened there, but yeah, Ian Fry just comes across the nose of Bobby Grady. Self-clears himself onto the inside. Doesn't look like Grady got too much damage, so he should live to fight another day. This restart is going to be huge here for Sean.
Yeah, so KT's going to get a good jump because if I know Sean correctly, he's going to give a lot of room, like at least half a truck length to that first place guy. He's really scared of that black flag when he's on the outside pole position there. So I think that's going to give KT a good jump, but if Sean can stay on the outside of turn 1 and 2 and get that good run off from 2, he might get back to KT pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, being the control car, with the amount of cautions that we've gotten in this race, especially coming down to this point in the race, number 1 spot is where you want to be. Like I said, I know Sean is super hungry for this win. I think this is the track that he had the biggest circle on. And he's had a hell of a run tonight, too. Kept the truck clean. He's ran up front all night, been able to make his way back through the field when he got shuffled back, so. Looks like KT would like to stay on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like KT's taken outside here.
So that's going to, I would, to an extent, almost argue that Sean would have a favorable spot if he can get a good start. Try to run KT a little wide. Keep an eye on this restart. 95 is going to be your control car on the outside.
Yep, about a half a length. Like I was saying, he does that every time.
Yep, Sean at least not in any contention for anything behind him. Sean able to close the gap though a little bit there. But he needs to get around KT as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think he knows that. Because this is actually the first time he's actually pushing that truck now, you can tell.
That gap closed now to just a tenth. Sean going to give up a little bit on entry, but he's going to try to make up for that on exit. Moser loose, coming off a 2, holds on to it. KT though holding on to the gap there, just over 2 tenths. Gap staying pretty even. Sean though, big surge, car up in the wall, turn 1.
Yep, that's the, is that 64, 54, 54 maybe?
64, he makes it, holds on to it, no yellow.
He's got a good run off from 4 there.
Oh, 64, hard into the wall. Big damage on that truck. No yellow though, they're 4 or 5 wide behind him. He's into the outside wall again.
Yeah, so is Moser.
Big damage, Sean really needs to go now.
We're coming to 8 to go. I got to give it to KT, man. He's putting that truck everything it's worth. He's holding on as hard as he can.
Yes, he is. He's under a lot of pressure right now.
The 2 top guys, I mean, Sean and KT has got one heck of a gap to the people behind them, so it's pretty much a race just between those 2.
Yeah, and that gap now opening up. Sean gained some more time there though. Good run off of 2. KT gets a little loose on entry, so he's pushing hard.
Oh, car sideways between 3 and 4.
Caution flag out again.
Looks like Matt Chase was involved in that.
And let's see if we can track down what happened here. Oh, yep. You see Andre just in front of Matthew Chase. Chase drives it in a little deep, clips that left rear. We've seen that a couple times tonight. It's going to get real interesting here, Will.
What's that?
It's going to get real interesting here.
Yes, it is. And I'm overhearing the comms, and it sounded like Sean is he's really not sure if he's going to be able to get around KT.
Well, obviously he's going to have to find a way if he wants this win. He's going to have to be a little bit aggressive here. Try to limit the distance that KT gets on him here on this restart. Use the bumper if he needs to. I know Sean and KT both have been with us for a long time, and both of these drivers looking for their first win. They can't race each other too hard, though, because they've got two fast trucks behind them, Travis George and Justin Nava. I think a little bit of that gap that we saw on that last stint was actually due to the 64 getting in the wall. He got the wall hard, and I think he had some suspension damage and was kind of in the middle of the front stretch, and everybody had to try to find their way around him. So
yeah, it makes sense.
But like I said, Sean really needs to try to limit the gap here on this restart if he wants any chance of not having to make up any ground.
Yeah, KT with another big jump.
Yeah, Sean's just giving up a lot. I mean, that's 3/10 almost before they even get into turn one. I mean, he gets it down to 2/10, but
I don't know. I just heard KT say, "Dang it!" Nope, KT just got a black flag.
Wow.
Wreck on the
Caution
back stretch.
flag, yep. But Sean, though, going to lose a position to Travis here. He needs to try to get in front. Caution comes out. Sean still scored in second. Sean really needed to take advantage of that. And I don't know what happened or why he wasn't able to do so. Yeah, I'm looking at the steering input. I think Sean may have pushed a little too hard. He's having to really fight that truck. And I think that's going to be really detrimental for KT, because I don't know if he made it to pit road before the caution flag technically came out. Let's hop on board and see. I still see him out on track, so he may have. Yeah, he doesn't go down pit road there. Still loses, obviously, a crap ton of time, and that's going to put us at a green-white checkered, and he's still going to have to serve that penalty. So I would say it's pretty much safe to say race over for KT, but Sean really needed to take advantage of that, and he's not quite able to do it, and that's going to put him in the same position as he was before. So things shaking up, and again, as I mentioned it, I mean, it kind of didn't happen the way exactly I thought it was going to happen, but look at that second row. Justin Nava, Bobby Grady. That's some competition in that second row as well.
Yeah,
So-
this is every lap is getting interesting here, man. Like KT was figuring he was going to end up winning it, ends up getting a false start, if you will, and gets a black flag.
Yeah, so these guys pushing hard, and I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I hopped on board with Sean there in turn one to try to see what happened, and it looked like he was sawing on that wheel pretty good, so I don't know if he burned up his stuff trying to run down KT or not. I mean, if anything, of course, he would love the win, but, you know, you got to try to hold on a second if you don't feel like you can get it. Green, white, checkered. Number one. We'll see if we need to use any more, but I think, honestly, as much as I hate to say it, Sean still being in second here and not holding on to first place when that caution came out may have just cost him the win on this race. really needed to be the control car here for that. Travis George, again, showed speed all night. Justin Nava, Bobby Grady caught up in some incidences here and there, but they're able to make their way back up to the second row. So maybe Sean does get to Travis George. And, you know, I know Sean's a clean driver, but if they start to battle him too hard or get a little bit of contact, this could be Grady or Nava's race to win here as well. I mean, honestly, I would say at this point, anybody in the top 4, even Rainey Cornwell, another row behind. I mean, this could be anybody's race to win here. Drivers now into the restart zone. Early jump for Travis George. 77 changing lanes before the start finish line. So Happy able to clear Grady for now. Let's see if Sean can get a good run off too. It looks like Travis George actually gets the run. Gap up to 3/10 now. See if Sean can make any of that back up.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby Grady doing some major blocking there and gets pushed into
the wall. Yeah. I know Travis George is just praying for that white flag. And there it is, white flag. So the next flag will end it. Sean Happick 3/10 behind Travis George. Justin Nava just behind Rainey Cornwell. See if they'll make a move. I don't know that Happy's going to be able to get Travis there. 3/10 gap now. Travis George going to have to make a pretty large mistake if Happy's going to get to him.
Yeah, last turn here. I think Travis has got it with Sean Happick second, Randy Cornwell third.
Yeah, we see some more cars getting in the wall off turns 4. But Travis George, your race winner here at Gateway. Cars wrecking all over the place on the front stretch coming to the line. Big jump. Couple cars around. Travis George able to take away the win here at WWT Gateway. We try to get a hold of our drivers now here. See Travis George though getting ready to burn it down. We will work on getting these drivers up here in the booth. And we will be back with you all shortly. Alrighty, we will hop on board with our third place finisher. Randy Cornwell ends up here in third place. A little bit of a wild ride for you tonight, but nonetheless able to bounce back and find yourself there on the podium. Talk to us, man. How does it feel?
Pretty good to come back from this one. This was a nightmare from the word go, and I know the one's mad at me. You throw a block, you put yourself in that situation, coming to the white, my opinion.
Yeah, he definitely threw a block there on the end. Coming in, you had a run there, and I did notice he did throw a block on the back stretch. I seen you did push him coming into the corner, but again, there was a block. So it's racing, man. Short track racing, especially. So
Yeah, I let him go though. He acts like I just KO'd him. I mean, I could have, but all that aside, coming back from all the mess in this one, I'll happily take a top 5, top 3, any of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, you get yourself caught up in a little bit of early action there and able to bounce back. I mean, saw a lot of cautions tonight. I mean, how were you able to navigate your way back through the field with all the cautions? I mean, you don't get a lot of time on track to make moves. So how were you able to get it done with all the cautions we had?
A whole lot of luck not to be in them, honestly. I got back the first time, I guess, about lap 83. When everybody pit there, my logic was, shoot, I got to win already. A couple of them. I thought, man, I'll stay out right here and maybe they'll pile up because you couldn't go anywhere in the back. So I had to come back a second time, with like lap 100 or somewhere around there when we pit the last time. Just sheer luck that people wrecked in front of me or the seas parted, so to speak.
Well, nonetheless, they parted for you in a good way. Again, end up there on the podium. So I think that'll help you with that points lead that you had before Kansas. Good run out of you. Before we let you go, man, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank?
I just want to thank the team, the Misfits team. I want to thank you guys for all you do, for putting on this league, all the headaches, all the complaining, the fussing. I know it's not easy. I've done it. It's a nightmare. It's almost like a full-time job. So thank y'all for giving us somewhere to race here on Monday and Tuesdays or Sunday and Monday. Sorry, I got days mixed up. Snowing in Georgia last week.
yeah, I mean, Florida got like 6 or 7 inches, so I'm sure you guys are right around there too. That's that's insane, dude.
Yeah, we got like 6.5 inches of snow, and that's just not normal for around here. It was cool about the first 2 days, but then it was like, all right, can we move on?
Hey man, I live in New York. I understand your frustration.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Like I live in middle to South Georgia, and it just doesn't do that here. You might get some sleet every now and then, but you don't get no 6 inches.
Gotcha. Well, nonetheless, again, P3 for Rainey Cornwell. Solid finish out of him tonight. Now we bring up the number 52, Sean Happick. So close to being able to get it done here at Gateway, but fall just a little bit short there in P2, man. What happened there?
I'm a bridesmaid.
No, can I give you a little bit of constructive criticism from the booth?
Oh, yeah, after.
No, because we talked about it all night on the broadcast anyway, man. Those restarts.
I don't know where the
man.
penalty starts and stops on starting on the outside. So that's something I'll have to work with because they put the speed up. They say don't go over this, but apparently you can. The inside will always gain a half a truck length on you. But when can I start going and when do I have to get underneath the speed limit?
As long as you are behind the leader, it doesn't matter what speed they're going. If you are maintaining the same pace as the leader and you do not pass the leader before he goes, you are good. You were giving up 2 to 3 tenths in the.
Are you kidding me? I was scared to do 57 to catch up to him.
Yeah, you were. You definitely leave a lot of room when it comes to restarts. I mean, you're at least half a truck, if not 3/4 of a truck back, and then
it didn't. Starting on the inside when they had the outside, it wasn't going to matter on that. It was pretty hard to pass. I think I had better pace coming out 1 and 2 than just about anybody here. Then KT had a penalty. I didn't really hear what was going on. He cut in front of me. I mean, he didn't really cut in front of me, but he was slowing down over there to the left. So I kind of slowed up for him. George got around me. Then the caution came out, and like we were talking, whoever was in front was going to win that on that green-white checkered, I feel.
Yeah, so. I mean, I want to talk to you about that. I mean, I was even saying it on the broadcast once we heard that KT had a penalty. I mean, how did Travis get around you there? I mean, I once KT got that penalty, I would have thought you were in the clear.
Yeah, I was. Like I said, I had the team chattering. Then I had KT. I didn't know exactly what was going on. He moved over a little bit, and I kind of just slowed up a little bit because I didn't know, you know what I mean? I just seen him go that way. I didn't know if he was getting loose or what. So I just let off a little bit, and then George kind of shot kind of between us there and just got around, and that yellow came out. So, but he was quick. He was quick up front the first part of the night, so I'm glad to see him back up there. Again, me, KT, or Travis George, I would love to see win. So, because we haven't won yet, so that's great for those guys. I'll take the points. I wish Cornwell would have finished worse, but
Well, hopefully we'll see you again next week and podium for sure. I know we got Dover next week. I know tomorrow in Xfinity and trucks this week. Trucks A, we got Dover. So good Dover week for all of us. So if you need any extra practice, let some of us upper guys know. And we'll shoot you some pointers.
I sure will, because I don't know how I feel about Dover. I'm okay, but that's about it. So I'll
I love
definitely
it.
take y'all up on that.
Yeah, because we got to see this. We got to see your truck up there in Victory Lane at least once this season. So
I think I got Texas. I'm good at Indianapolis. And I'm pretty good at Texas. So Texas is probably my next real big chance, I think. So I'm happy to end with a 0X there and third in the first in stage, I believe. So I should be at top of the stage points now, since I don't think Cornwall did very good in stages. So
Gotcha. Well, 52, Sean Happick rounds out the second place spot here. Now we talk with our race winner, the number 16 of Travis George, able to get it done here tonight. We saw an up and down race for you, to say the least. I mean, we talked to you there early in stage 1, and you find yourself in a little bit of trouble there in stage 2 and 2 back-to-back cautions, but you make your way up to P1, man. How important was it for you to get the edge there over Sean on that last restart coming to the green, white, checkered?
It was huge, man. I figured that maybe taking the outside, talking to my teammates would probably be the best bet, just because I might be able to hold him off, and I got a real good jump on him, because it seemed like he could get off a 2 a little bit better than me, but I could get off a 4 a little better than him.
Yeah, I mean, talk to us about how chaotic it was for you to make your way back through the pack. I mean, we saw a crap ton of cautions tonight. A lot of people had their race haltered or really ended with all the cautions. How were you able to, get shuffled all the way back to the field and make your way back through and then find yourself there up front?
Yeah, man, it wasn't easy. Like, my teammate, pretty sure he had too much damage. He couldn't even continue, so that was rough. And I had to play a pit strategy, really. Came down to the one where there was a caution, I think, with 9 to go in the stage, and I was like, I'm going to go and just baby the tires. And then that put me up to, I think it was 5th or something. I was like, that's perfect. So I just got to keep my track position. And late at the end there, it was anyone's race, really. KD could have won it, Happy could have won it. Unfortunately, KT got the black, and it moved me up a spot. I was able to get the good run off a 2 on Sean, and that last restart we did, I got another good run and just held them off. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, an epitome of an up and down race for you. Nonetheless, able to get it done. Find yourself there in P1 at the end of this thing. Before we let you back with your team, man, is there anybody you want to give a shout out or thanks to?
Yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out to my teammates for putting up practice sessions for us midweek every week. It's been great helping us out, and yeah, say that was about it. My wife for letting me play.
There you go. We always talk about everybody that we bring up in here. That's the number one shout out you got to give right there, and you get it done without a reminder. So there you go. You should be all safe. You're not going to be sleeping up on the couch tonight, but congratulations on your win, man. We look forward to seeing you some more throughout the season.
Yeah, appreciate it, fellas. Have a good one.
You too.
Well, there we go. We've got the post-race results here up on the screen. We talked to our top 3 already, and Travis George, Sean Happick, and Randy Cornwell. You got Justin Nava, who, again, another driver who had one hell of an up and down race. Bobby Grady as well got into that late incident with Cornwell, but he's still able to manage a top 5. The 77 of Trey Young had a couple incidents tonight. He finds himself in 6th. Thomas Long, hell of a finish for him, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he started towards the rear of the field. Yeah, he's up 26 spots from where he started, so hell of a job for Thomas Long there. That's probably be our biggest mover of the night. We got Bryce Tucker in 8th. We saw him get into an incident off 4. Dustin Bloodworth and Chris Weiniger rounding out your top 10. Quiet night for Thomas Fuller, but he ends up in the 11th place spot with Kean Fry just behind him in 12th. Christian Noble in 13th. Randy Post in 14th. John Shields had some laps led tonight as well, some fuel strategy and tires, and he, again, led some laps, and he ends up in 15th with Kenan Cook just behind him in 16th. We saw David Meacham, I think, make a late mistake there in one of those last cautions. He got caught up in an incident, so he ends up in 17th, and Brett Pritchard just behind him in the 18th position. So a lot of drivers tonight making some moves. It's a lot of positions to be lost and or gained here, but let's see. Andre Carvalho in 19th, 20th for KT McCann. We saw him have to serve that penalty there late. Samuel Moser made his way towards the front for a little bit. Matthew Chase had an up and down night. Ed Nava in 23rd. Hunter, I think I'm just going to say Jock in 24th. Josh Parker in 25th. Sean Wilder, we saw him get some pretty bad damage. He finishes 26th with Brad Dewar and Ben Thomas just behind them in 27th and 28th. And rounding out the end of the field here, Daniel Quinn, we saw behind the scenes that he had some equipment issues, so he finishes 10 laps down. Patrick Camburn ran up front for a little bit. He finishes 15 laps down. Michael Mangus in 31st. Tim Rourke in 32nd. Zachary Tyler, newcomer, has an unfortunate night fast in practice. He ends up in 33rd. Corey Moore in 34th. Mike Kufel, we saw him get some terminal damage. I believe got caught up there with Mike Mangus. So not the night he was hoping for. He finishes 35th with Ryan Seabolt, Michael Cole, and Clint Hackett just behind them. So one hell of a race here tonight at Gateway. A lot of drama, a lot of action, a lot of cautions, but that finish there able to make up for it a little bit. But as we mentioned earlier, we've got Dover tomorrow in Xfinity, Dover Friday in the trucks, and then Dover as well back again here on Sunday night for some more racing. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for coming out and showing support, and we will see you guys tomorrow for some Xfinity racing at Dover.